Gunbird 2 was one of my favorite shmups when I first got into the genre. I played it a lot and I was never very good at it. I remember eventually managing to get to stage 5 and practicing the stage 5 boss with save states and thinking, this is fucking impossible. Then I remember playing a bit further, practicing stage 6 with save states and thinking, this is even more impossible. And eventually I kind of hit a wall with shmups where I felt like I wasn't making any progress in any of the ones I was playing, and I stopped playing them for years. When I got back into them, it was after I finally cleared S-Braid, another really hard game I gave up on when I was younger. And my clear video for S-Braid, I made a joke like, maybe next I'll finally clear Gunbird 2. Just kidding, that game's impossible. And now that I finally managed to do it, I still think it's a really brutal game. It's really easy to make mistakes, it's really unforgiving. At the same time, stringing together a good run once you learn the game wasn't as hard as I expected. This video is actually my second time clearing the game, because I couldn't get a recording of my first clear. So basically, the first 3 stages of this game are randomly chosen from a set of 4, and on MAME, by default you always get the same 3 stages as the first 3, which are the ones you'll see in this run. So what I would do is I would reset the game an extra time to change the default RNG so I could play different stages for the first 3. But MAME apparently doesn't include resets in replay files, so when I played back my replay, I couldn't get it to have the same RNG and the run would just die at some point. So for my second clear, this one, I used the default stage order. But I actually still had trouble getting the RNG to sync up for some reason in the replay. I had to reset MAME like 10 times before I got a clean recording of this run. Anyways, so this game is pretty heavy on memorization and it's got pretty tight routing, so it's difficult to learn, but that meant after I cleared it once, it didn't take that long to get a second clear. I think it only took me like an hour or 2 after the first clear of playing. So what made me think it'd be really hard to clear this game is that when I was practicing the later stages with save states, I was just dying over and over to every section of the stage with these stupid small errors, and there were boss patterns that I couldn't even figure out how to do without bombing. And so what I was doing after I learned the stages, I would start from a save state at stage 7 and try to clear the game. Okay, I did it. So now I'll start a save state from stage 6 and try to clear the game. I think I only cleared the game from a stage 6 save state like twice ever. I never cleared it from a stage 5 save state, I don't think. And so I was doing these like runs from starting from a late stage in the game, and I didn't feel like I was really getting better or more consistent. I was still like making these stupid mistakes everywhere. And I kind of thought like, I was feeling like I'm never going to hit the level of consistency I need to actually pull off a clear from the beginning of the game. So that's kind of how I was feeling doing all that save state practice. But this morning I thought, I'll just try doing full runs. It'll probably be more fun. Maybe I can get a new PV for like how far I get on 1 credit. And then like within like, again, 1 or 2 hours of starting playing with that mindset, I got the clear. And then I couldn't get a recording of the clear, so I got another clear within another 1 or 2 hours. And I think it was just like, I was kind of like tricking myself into thinking I'm worse at the game than I actually am. Because I'd practiced those later stages a lot, I learned a lot of tricks for dealing with the harder parts. But I was making so many mistakes that it made me like underestimate my ability to string it all together into a run. So I still think this game is very hard, and all the save state practice I did was definitely important. But I kind of like psyched myself out into spending too much time on practice and not enough just doing runs when even after I'd like reached the point where I'm capable of clearing the game, I think I was still thinking like, oh, I need to practice more. So yeah, the first 3 stages, there's not a lot to say about them in terms of routing. Like, there's a few things, like for this tank here, I stay on the left so that it misdirect this big wave of bullets a bit. But for the most part, you just want to try to no-miss these stages. Don't be afraid to use bombs. You get quite a lot of bombs in the early game. And you do need bombs later on, but you really don't want to, like, die with multiple bombs and waste a bunch of them. So, like, do I bomb here, or do I just... No, I'm just good. So, more about this game's mechanics. This is a 3-button game. You have tap to shoot. I actually play it as a 4-button game because I have an auto-fire button for tap to shoot, but technically it's 3 buttons. So you have tap to shoot. You can hold the shoot button to shoot these missiles that you just saw. You have your bomb button, and then you have a short-range melee attack, which I'm not sure how it works for all characters. Tavia is the only character I've really spent much time with in this game. But you have a short-range melee attack that can actually destroy bullets. And I don't really use it in the early stages, but it's very useful in the late game. So for this part, you want to stay on one side, rather than swerving back and forth to take out the green guys. Then for this boss, I try to do a level 2 charge attack. So, your charge attack builds up. Oh, I actually bombed here. Oh, I bombed twice here. I think I got this confused in my earlier clear where I, like, landed the level 2 charge attack and skipped the actual hard parts of that pattern. But, in this one, apparently I used 2 bombs. And here, I think I die. Yeah. So, because I used 2 bombs, I didn't want to use more, but unfortunately, kind of needed to. Because I'm not good at dodging that last attack there. Alright, so stage 5 is where this game gets really difficult. Especially if you no-miss up to stage 5, because this game has rank. It has, basically, the game gets more difficult as you play, and when you die, the rank drops and it gets easier. So it's not anything like Battle Garega or anything where you need to, like, use rank control strats or the game becomes absurdly hard. But it is, like, you will notice the rank, because you'll notice it in the sense that when you die in the later stages, the game will suddenly become much easier. Like, the bullets will, like, get significantly slower, and some enemies will shoot less bullets. So yeah, you can actually do some rank control in this game, basically by, if you touch certain enemies, then instead of, like, dying, you will just get a power down, like, you'll lose some of your shot power, and that actually lowers rank. So, if your rank gets really high and you don't want to die to lower it, which this game gives you very few resources compared to, it's not like, oh yeah, that pattern I usually bomb, but because I only had 1 bomb left, I had to dodge it like a pro. Anyways, yeah, this isn't like Garega where you're constantly earning, like, extra lives so you can die to lower rank. You get your 2 starting lives, and you get 1 score extend at 60,000 points, and that's literally it. So you do get quite a lot of bombs. There are quite a lot of bomb drops in the stages, but your lives are very tight. So, yeah, so, anyways, like I was saying, like, these guys, if your rank is very low, they won't shoot those 2 bullets, and if your rank is high, they'll actually shoot an extra bullet. Like, if your rank is at the lowest, they'll only shoot, like, the 5 spread instead of the 5 spread followed by the 2 spread. And if you no-miss to stage 6, then they'll be really nasty, and it's actually useful in that case to take an intentional hit, but not death, like a power down hit, to lower the rank a bit. But I rarely no-miss to stage 6. So actually, I don't know if I've ever no-missed to stage 6. My no-miss to stage 6 experience was based on using save states. So I don't know if I've ever actually reached stage 6 without dying. Don't do this. Don't get up close to it. So this mini boss, there are 4 heads, and it randomly picks 2 of them. It's useful to use the short range attack on the lower ones, but on the higher ones, it's usually not worth it because you have to like fly up really close to them and then fly back down while they're shooting at you and stuff. It's a pain. Yeah, so you can see now they're shooting like a 5-2-1, 5-2-1 pattern. My rank is high. That power down was not intentional. This boss is a pain, and I only have 1 bomb. So normally I need multiple bombs to survive here. You can dodge that attack without a bomb, but it's difficult. You have to kind of misdirect it in a weird way. And now I have no bombs, so I have to try, and I also, yeah, not much to say there. I had no bombs, so I had to take a death. Fortunately, once you get past that like huge wall attack, the lasers can be difficult, but other than, yeah, the lasers can be tricky, but once you bomb your way through that massive wall attack, then the rest of the fight isn't too bad. So here, I take an unfortunate death, and now I'm on my last life. This is the final stage, but so I have 3 bombs to work with, and I want to, if I get to the final boss with 2 bombs, I pretty much win as long as I don't screw up the easy attacks. So I really want to like only use 1 bomb for these upcoming sections. Ideally, you would like have an extra life here, but I took that death before. So this is where I use my first bomb. There's this pattern the nasty pattern I don't really know how to do. And now I want to keep my last 2 bombs for the final boss. So I have to be pretty careful here. This attack is particularly nasty. I managed to do it. This one, it looks nasty, but you just do a light tap to, because I think it's like aimed at you, and you just do a light tap to dodge everything. So we're coming up on the final boss. Just be very careful with these small enemies so that you don't have to waste a bomb. And now I've got a level 2 charge attack, which lets me take out the first phase of this boss pretty safely. If I didn't have the level 2 charge attack, and then here, stand still in the middle. That attack, I like learning that you can just stand still in the middle to avoid that was like huge for me clearing this game. I thought I would have to like save a bomb for that attack, but you just don't do anything. So dodge the easier attacks, and then this one is pretty nasty. So I use my first bomb, and then the frogs are also quite nasty, so I use my second bomb. Slash dead. You get very little time to choose the option in the ending. Like, I don't think I actually pressed a button there. I think it just timed out and forced me to choose the first one. So yeah, now we get to the second loop, and the second loop's over. I'm not going to learn the second loop with this game. But yeah, that is Gunbird 2. It's quite a short game if you don't do the second loop, but it gets very intense in the later stages. Yeah, it's a cool game.